I'm cold. I lived in Michigan all my life. And as soon as it get in the 60s, this is how I sit at home. Because it's cold. I got my heat on 90. And I still got on sweatpants, my scarf, my hair scarf, not a neck scarf, a hat, and this hoodie. This is so ironic. Oh, because October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. My voice is hoarse because I've probably sat silent for 2 days. Not silent, but barely talking. My hoodie, that's what I was getting at. It's from a play my mama was in. It was called When Love Hurts, and it was based on a true story about this lady from Detroit, or whatever. Anywho, neither here nor there. It's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I am doing this video because my house is quiet. The kids are at school, and the babies sleep. It's been a few days since what I'm going to start calling video journaled. I also, since the last video, started physically journaling too. I can't lie, I barely made any headspace with that, or whatever I'm supposed to, what do you say, headspace? I think it's headway. You get what I'm saying. Not too much progress on the physical journaling, mostly because I'm a mother and a business owner. So I use my hands a lot. And I don't really have very much downtime. And so the downtime I have, I like to use it for sleep. But I'm gonna be making more time to get more into it because apparently I need to. It's giving roller coaster. And it's just like like I began, what am I even doing? Soul searching, I guess. And I started so excited and so eager, and I still am excited and eager, but it felt lighter, it felt bubblier, it felt like I was living my life like it's golden. And I don't know if it's the cold weather or the reality of grief from my life that I'm letting go. I hate that I'm such a cliche, even though I've tried all my life to not be. I hate that everything they say is so true. Like, this shit you think is just corny and unnecessary. It be true. Like, just the aftermath of choosing yourself is very fucking anticlimactic. Well, at this point, that's what it's feeling like. It's feeling like, you know, I gassed it in my head very much. And then I got it in real life. And baby, it is rough right now. It's rough right now, but like not in the way I felt rough before. It's rough right now because I don't know what the outcome is. Normally, you know how you be spinning your wheels. You've gone through these things over and over and over and over, so you can predict how it's gonna turn out, and you be like, all right, all I gotta do is blah blah blah, and shit gonna be easy street or whatever. But when you're in uncharted territory, sorry, I don't even know if y'all could hear none of that, and y'all know I'm not re-recording, so I hope that I wasn't muffled too much, because turn the fucking volume up. And I'm sorry, I cannot control my profanity today. I'm going to try now. I didn't notice. That was like the 8th time I cussed. Anyway. I forgot what I was saying because I was muffled. It'll come back to me, I'm sure. Let's move on. Today, I'm feeling like the loneliness, the uncertainty. Oh, that's what I was getting at. When you lived so much of your life in these cyclical, variations of, a theme, things get predictable and you get comfortable and you be like, okay, I can do this. I know this. I can do this, right? But then there comes a point in your life where you like, okay, I got that. So why would I keep doing that? Like you have to like stop the things you're used to and the things that your cycles, your patterns, you got to let them go eventually. And so like, it's always a great thing. I don't know why I said thing like that. It's always a great thing to like shed your skin and grow, chrysalises and butterflies and shit stuff. Sorry. But it's like getting on a boat with no navigation system, no map. Like you just like got in that mug and just like floated, right? And you have the destination in mind, like you legit, ooh, y'all, the destination. It just makes me so happy to think about it. It's in there. But the in-between of, where you begin and where you'll end, there is literally, it feels like there's no guidance. There's no knowledge. And for a person like me, like I told y'all, I'm like the type of person, I need lists, I need directions, I need clarity. I need you to explain what I'm supposed to do in very specific terms. And then and my mama used to hate this when I was younger. But it's like, if you tell me to do something, I'm going to go do that thing. If you wanted other stuff or like specific things in the thing, I need that to be noted as well, because I am so programmed to do what I'm told. And it is the weirdest thing. My daughter is that way now. Like, it's like I try to show her patience because I realize she got it from me. It's like we're so literal. It's weird because I'm I feel very emotional, but I act very logical because so much of my life people were like, girl, simmer down, like all this. And they weren't wrong. It was like I wasn't in control of my emotions. Currently, I am still navigating that, like trying to figure out how do I express myself emotionally, but in control. Like, how do I express my emotions without sounding Betty, without sounding hysterical? Like, yo, I'm so sorry, I'm so dramatic. But yeah, like, that's what I'm navigating, like, still currently. So now, trying to let go of those patterns and that knowing and that, how do I call it? Just certainty of certain things. It's scary when you don't know how or what to do. And it's like, yes, I've been going to God for guidance, but y'all know how God be when he trying to see if you really learned. Like, God is like proctor of proctors. Don't look, don't speak, don't move. He just watch and he just wait. And that, when I was younger, I used to think, that was abandonment from God. That was, him telling me to do my thing. Like, no, it's not. It's very much, thank you, Jesus. It's very much God letting you know that you can trust you because he trusts you. But this only happens when you constantly stay in his face. Like, I know he's not tired of me, but I'm tired of me trying to see if God is tired of me yet, because I have to be like, God, is it time to go number 2? God, is it time to make some ramen? God, is it time to go pick my mail up? Like, this is the season that I'm in right now. And I realized that God is like, girl, just do what I have said already. But it's like, I have to constantly keep checking back. Like, is this included? Is this included? Is this included? Like, also this? Oh, this too? Like, and nothing wrong with that, because God, I thank you for whatever this battleground training is, because I know that my lips stay dry. Give me a second. I need some lip gloss. But yeah, it's like, I just don't want to move the wrong way, y'all, because like, now that I know, y'all, I think I lost my lip gloss. I used to have 75 lip glosses for no reason, and I used to love carrying these little tiny bags, and all that was in there was lip gloss and money. Like, my phone couldn't even fit. I found it. And I only got one because spiritual journeying is taxing on your psyche, on your energy. And anywho, the point is, trying to make telepathic communication with God. I'm laughing because I know the Christian's gonna be like, it's not magic. It's not. I know I be going in on the Christians, and I can, because that's my community. Right? But we be problematic than a mug a lot of the times. Anyway, when I'm trying to hear from God in times like this, I be feeling like I can't really fully be nowhere else or do anything else, as far as, like, just with the public in general. Being so empathic and That's really it. Empathic. Like, everything affects me. Everything encounters me. Like, I feel. This just sounds so weird, and I don't even really be talking about this. Ugh. I guess it's the vulnerability part. But, like I saw yesterday, literally, this how you know. First of all, I'm too sensitive. Literally. Emotionally and physically. 1. 2, I'm very much getting to know myself and like look back at myself. Anyway, point is, yesterday I'm scrolling, and I saw this post from this therapist that said, I don't know. I follow a lot of therapy pages because I'm still not in therapy. I can't really afford it right now. First of all, it costs money. Secondly, I ain't got no car. I'm get there. Thirdly, my kids always screaming and acting crazy when I am here. How I'm going to talk to the people. Anyway, when it is convenient, when I make the space, and I will soon, I'm going to go. But in the meantime, I've substituted, which is like therapy pages. Anyway, one of these therapy pages posted, I'm not a know-it-all. I am a psychic. And then it said, I'm not a know-it-all. I am claircognizant. Christians, hold your mule, okay? Hold your mule. And it resonated with me to the point that it just made me cry. Everything making me cry, y'all. I just been crying about everything. I already cried about everything, but now, like, even more so. Everything is making me cry because if you're watching this and you knew me when I was a child, even up until like my, teenage, mid-teenage, 15, 16, people hated me. Not hated me. They did not hate me. But I annoyed people and rubbed people the wrong way because they thought I was a know-it-all. And I thought that my intentions would show. Like, I wasn't like, oh, you're wrong, this is right. I wasn't one of those people. I would just be like, you ask me, I'm gonna say. And also, if I hear over here and it was incorrect, I'm gonna say. And it was like, people just got tired of that. Like, girl, nobody's talking to you. Nobody needs your unsolicited opinion. And currently, to this day, I agree with all those people. They weren't wrong, but I just wish I had been handled more carefully, because what I didn't know before I decided to change myself and like close myself off and just say, you know what? Let them be wrong. Let them act crazy. Let them, because I would be so hurt when in my head, this is the way I show love. Just by giving knowledge and like encouragement. I thought that's what I was doing. I've learned now that, again, you give your unsolicited ass advice, it feels like judgment. It feels like pressure. It feels like, you just don't do that. Even if it's the right answer to a question. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just don't. If nobody asks you, mind your business. Or find a more subtle way. I wasn't very subtle. I didn't know how to be, because I didn't know. It was like, even like now, like things just pop in my head and I say, or I know, let me say, because I don't say no more. If I do say it's by myself, I write it down. Nobody knows I say, which I'm working on that too. Anyway, when I was younger, I was so intuitive for no reason. Like, I thought it was for no reason. And reading that, I thought it was for no reason, and I changed. I was like, this ain't cool. People don't like that. I'm gonna not know anything. I'm gonna play small. I'm gonna dumb it on down, because that's what y'all like, and that's what make y'all leave me alone. Because when I say I was not the type of person, and I'm still not, I'm not going to be intrusive. I'm not an invasive species in the least. I'm gonna be in my bubble. And we can converse bubble to bubble, or you can come over, you can invite me to yours. If you don't, we don't interact. Like, that's just how I am. It depends on the setting, of course. I mean, on a personal level. In a professional setting, of course, I'm completely different. Ask my clients. They be so confused. Like, bitch, I thought you loved me. And I be like, I do, but professionally. Anyway, I just began to, I still studied. I'm like a type of person, I just like to pick up like useless, unnecessary knowledge. I know a whole bunch of shit that don't match. Nobody needs to know. I don't like some things, just, it was like factory setting, and other stuff just automatically downloads. Legitly. I'm not even exaggerating. When I was younger, it just didn't, it felt like, you know how people, like, people be like, I was different and I didn't like it, or I didn't understand it, and other people didn't understand it. And then I saw that post and I was like, wow, all this time, these anomalies that happened to me, and I'm paying attention to them and I'm embracing them now, these types of things have been happening all of my life. I've always, and my big sister, who I call my mama's sister, and I tell her and my mama, like, if she my mama for real, y'all could let a nigga know, because I'm not gonna be that bothered. Like, just tell the truth. But anyway, my sister used to be like, girl used to be like a little kid, just being weird with information. Like, how do you know that? Why do you know that? Why are you asking about that? And it's just been like all of my life, in every aspect of whatever you want to call it, however you label supernatural gifts across the board. I don't, y'all Christians be funny. I don't know what I can say. I don't know what I can call stuff. Y'all went in on Miss Juanita Bynum. Okay? And, maybe I'll talk about that one day too. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway. However you like to label supernatural gifts, I've had probably them all of my life. And I'm sadly just now paying attention to myself, looking at myself and say, at that point, that's what this was. When this happened, that's what that was. And it's like, when I say visions, dreams, sounds, feelings, like physical. I used to literally, it's so funny. Like, when I was a teenager in high school and I used to dance and stuff. So I literally would just randomly stop and ask people, like, do y'all feel that? I used to be like, I feel like my pockets are vibrating. I used to think that I was literally just like the only person who could feel like seismic tremors or something. This used to happen all the time, or I would be like, did y'all hear that? Like, it would be strange, like straight verbiage that only I heard, like voice, English language, like, I just know. And this was like years ago. This has happened all of my life. And so when I read that post, I'm not a know-it-all. I am just a psychic. It made me weep for myself, because I hated it. I let people who didn't understand me cause me to turn away from myself and not try to understand myself either. Like, I didn't know enough. I was a kid. It was other kids, some adults. I just didn't know enough to say, this is who I am. this is what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, even so, like growing up in church, it was like I didn't know what was demonic and what wasn't demonic. I couldn't go talk to somebody. I felt like, you know what I'm saying? I remember one night I was like 13 or 14. And what I know now is I was just being demonically and psychically attacked. And all I knew to do was just get my Bible, and I turned the lights on. Everybody was asleep, like legit. It was like my very bedroom was just a different place in the world. Door closed, lights on. It was like nothing existed outside my bedroom. I had this, it was like I literally I was sitting in the middle of my bed with my Bible, like legit fighting off demons, you know, in a supernatural realm, but in my bedroom, it felt very much physical right there. You know how like on movies where it's like, you know, these demons come and you just shine a light on them and they just vanquish or whatever. Like that's very much the first time I remember like going to war in the spirit as a child. Like the devil very much wanted me and my mind. And I thought, did I do something wrong? I was a kid, I was a teenager, so I probably was, doing teenage stuff and then feeling guilty about it or whatever. I wasn't a bad kid, but I wasn't perfect either. So it was just like, as soon as I did stuff that I did, like other kids could do, talk to boys and, watch crazy stuff on TV, etc., etc. I thought these things were happening to me because I had done something wrong and God wanted me to be right. What I know now is that the enemy just wanted me dead. He wanted me dead, and he was plaguing my mind. And I've grown up with so much anxiety and deep, deep depression, not clinically diagnosed, but I just did because I used to feel all these feelings, and I just thought I was crazy because I had no in my head. It was like, what the heck? These things, I haven't been exposed to anything that should cause these types of feelings. And what I didn't know at the time is that I could just feel everything around me. I still do. I was scared of it before, but now I embrace it. It's like, I call it my little superpower now. And it's refreshing to understand it and have it. But I don't even know what that was. I swear to God, I washed my face today. To have it and not know how, why, or when to wield this power or whatever it is so, I don't want to say scary because it's not scary. It's just confusing. It's confounding. It's like perplexing as fuck because you don't want to rub nobody the wrong way. You don't want to creep people out. You definitely don't want the Christians coming for your, what you call it? I don't know, your Christian card, whatever. Because it's just a weird space to be in when you know that, let's be clear, Christians call everything witchcraft, right? Like everything is witchcraft to the to the lot, to the majority. And Christians are so quick to tell you, oh, you got to pray them demons off you. You got to pray them demons off you. Like, to the point where I thought I was like demon possessed. I'm like, it's just a hard thing to trust deeply religious people with, because it's like, yes, everything is spiritual, but I'm still a person. I am still a human being with super mushy feelings, very impressionable psyche, even to this day. Like, you say something to hurt my feelings, I'm just gonna remember it forever, even if I don't want to. It's just like haunting me forever, because it's like, is this true? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't know who to trust. But I know now that I can trust God. I can just go to him and listen to him for the guidance. And until I hear from him, I just sit and wait. I just pray. I just listen and watch. Because he always tells me, like, every single time. And I've noticed that, in the midst of waiting to hear from God, a lot of the times I would be the messed up most stuff by just going, just do it. And then, just no rhyme, reason, no plan, no process, just doing, just trying to stay doing. And I would get to the end of stuff and I'd be like, dang, I ain't even have to do all that. All that wasn't even necessary. I ain't even have to go through that. I ain't have to feel that. I ain't have to hear that. I ain't have to see that. So now I be like, the isolation feels like solace to me a lot of times. I say all that to say this time is very much different. This time is different because I know that I'm waiting to hear something. I am anxious not to have something, but to obey. This is the first time I'm like, okay, God, hurry up. Tell me what to do so I can say yes and do it. Like, this is the first time. I mean, I won't say first, but this is the first, this is not the first time I was obedient to the voice of God. This will be the first time that I was excited to be. Ooh, that hit for me. This was the first time that I was excited to be. I used to think that letting go of things or people or, processing, I used to look at it like, it's drudgery. Like, why, God? I don't want to. But things are getting so different now. Like, just what I know that I know. Not what I think I know. Like, I've very much learned to distinguish between God's voice and my own thoughts and feelings and opinions and everybody else's thoughts and feelings and opinions. And as an empath, because that's what I am, as an empath, that's really the hardest part of existing is that you see yourself in everybody, everything. Like, you really relate. You know, you can really sympathize. You really do. Like, even, you know, if you haven't gone, it's just very much a respect of other people's realities and experience without you even trying or wanting to, or giving people. A fly just flew by me. That's disrespectful. You know, without even wanting to, or like, you know, someone telling you to. And I don't mean just like, oh, you tell me a story, now I understand how you feel. I mean, you walk in a room and your life experiences download to my body. I mean, you sit next to me and I hear what you're thinking. Like, legit hear what you are thinking. Are the Fed gonna come and try to Mutant X me? Oh my gosh. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Well, I'm protected. Thank you, Jesus. Like, there's been times where I've had to tell my mom, like anybody I'm very, very, very emotionally connected to. One time I'll use my mom as an example because, you know, we experienced this knowing at the same time. Like, and this is not even the craziest psychic thing that's happened to me. But anywho, my mom, she takes blood pressure medicine. So, you know, I'm sitting on her bed and y'all, my palms are sweating right now. Like, I don't know what that is, but I'm telling y'all, I really have to pay attention to everything my body does now because it's always something. It's always something. Like, people's pockets don't vibrate for no reason. Your hands don't get sweaty when you're freezing to death for no reason. My heat is on 90, I swear to God. I am so cold and my hands are sweating. But, and I'm not nervous, so don't know what it is. Anyway, I'm sitting on my mom's bed. Oh, maybe, okay. Thank you, Jesus. God is just reminding me of the feelings I was feeling at this moment. Like, I was laying on her bed and she was sitting in her reclining chair. My back is turned to her. And I just start getting these like very physically overwhelming. Like, I'm getting like my body's heating up. I'm just feeling tight and restricted and just uncomfortable. And so I sit up just to sit up. But then I sit up and I see my mom just looking distressed. And she's looking for something. And I was like, what's wrong? And she was like, I don't know. I'm just getting a little dizzy or something. So I'm like, well, what you need? And she was like, she kept telling me, and she couldn't think of the word. And then so while she's trying to find her, in my head, her blood pressure is high. We need to check it. So I just start moving things because I'm going to find her blood pressure cuff, right? She says out loud though, eventually, after like a few times of stuttering, she says, I'm trying to find my blood pressure pills. She said pills. I grabbed the cuff. And she was like, oh yeah, I needed that. And I was like, this is what you just asked me to find. This is what you just asked me to get. And she was like, no, I didn't. I said pills. And I was like, no, you didn't. You said, I'm trying to find my blood pressure cuff. She said, no, I didn't. I said, well, that's what I heard. And we just looked at each other. And this was like, I'm sharing this because this is like not even that deep. This is not even that serious, but that's what, and she wasn't the first time that happened like that. Like, I had been telling her a while, like, I think I can hear what people are thinking. Like, I think that, you know, and maybe I'm not like audibly hearing your thoughts, but like I said, a lot of the times when people don't know that their energies are so loud. So it's like, you know, when you see somebody cry or you hear somebody laugh, it's like your brain is like, haha, what's so funny? You like, you don't even know what's funny, but you want to laugh with them because it's just like a contagious situation. Like, your brain is more empathetic than you think. So you know, you see somebody cry, it invokes tears because your brain wants to relate. So with me, it's like I sometimes can feel people's feelings so hard that my body knows what it needs because of these feelings. And now I essentially know what said person needs, right? And so on and so forth. So it's just like, I used to think that I was tripping. Like I used to tell my mom about my dreams, about people I would see that weren't there. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff that really sounds crazy. But something would always prove that I wasn't crazy. Like when I was very young, we lived in a shelter. My mom was getting clean, and we lived in this shelter. And I also went to school in this shelter. Like the school was in the basement. And I think I was going into kindergarten. Yeah, I was like going into kindergarten, which means I had just turned 5 because my birthday is in the summer. And I told my mama, like, you know, in the hallway there was this boy, but then he just left. Like, you know, he just was gone. Like he had a ball. I told her, I'm like, he was, you know, it was this boy, and he was playing with his ball in the hallway, and then he just wasn't there no more. He just wasn't. And, you know, it wasn't, you know, anything, you know, malignant or scary or, you know, evil feeling. When I was a kid, I really just thought it was a boy who knew how to disappear. I'm like, oh, that nigga sweet. My mama didn't make me feel like, oh, this girl crazy or whatever. She just played it, you know, she thought I was just a 5-year-old with an imagination or whatever. And then, because we had just got there, but then, like, it became known that, like, you know, like, it was just talk through the whole shelter about, you know, this boy who essentially was a spirit. And I was not the only person who, you know, it was like, you know, people said that other people, like, you know, people talked about it, like, it's a ghost here, or whatever. And, you know, I was just cool with it. Like, it didn't scare me. And it's just like things like that. Like, I grew up very into occult things, you know, scary movies, you know, urban legends. And it's just like, it just piqued my interest. It was always very like, just, I always was just drawn to things of spiritual nature. And also science, like things like, you know, things that I need to explain. You know, it helped me to wrap my mind around things I couldn't explain. It helped me know that there's a reason I can't explain this, because this is not science. Or, you know, for some people, it is science. You know, supernatural things, magical things,